So speaking of moves, you're a car guy on a different side of the house than a lot of the people that we get the chance to speak with. So I want to talk about what actually brought you into the car business, whether it's the back end, front end, wherever it is that door is, you know what I mean? What brought you into the car business itself?
Yeah, so my illustrious high school career, which I was not much of a student. I was much more about the fun and the friendships and everything else, relationships in high school more than the actual work. So I decided that I actually wanted this. This was 1987 when I was graduating high school, guys. This was, horse and carriage days.
DeLorean days.
It was DeLorean days, yes.
So I decided I wanted to get into a new field of computer technology and learning how to repair computers. My dad worked at a local college, and they had one of the best programs in the country at the time. I signed up into that, and before the end of that summer, Ford introduced a new program called Asset, and my dad was like, my dad, always having the utmost confidence in my mathematical skills, said, a lot of math involved in that computer stuff. Maybe you should check out this thing. And I went to a presentation from Ford and loved what they presented, what they showed the future as, which is kind of funny because the future that they showed back in 1987 is kind of coming around now, 30 plus years later.
Wow.
And so I switched over. I joined that asset program. I went through there. I became a technician. And turns out I'm not a really great technician. So that's how I ended up in the business. But about 4 years of being a technician, and I was kindly asked to not be a technician anymore. So I moved to a service advisor role, and that's where I found my groove. And from there, it's history. We just took a slow trajectory up from there.
It's awesome. I love that story. You have a couple comments about that. Frank says that he was an asset graduate in 1990. You also have Frank has a quick question for you. I'm going to hit you with this. This isn't part of the 5-liner, but it's definitely a good question. Frank says, Dave, what's the future of flat rate?
Ooh, that's a loaded question, Frank. I'm going to tell you that my opinion is that flat rate was outdated about 20 years ago, and that it needs to go, and that if we are truly going to progress as an industry in fixed operations, that we need to start paying our technicians properly. There is no higher trained person in that dealership than a technician, and there is also nobody in the dealership that is producing money except the technician. Every single one of us is an expense except for those technicians, and they are the only ones that put up with the type of pay structure where they might be there for 60 hours and get paid for 40. I don't know of many people that would put up with that in their work life. If your boss told you to come into work for 60 hours, but I was only going to pay you for 40, and obviously there's some great technicians who are out there turning 100 hours when they work 40. But it shouldn't be like that. And it doesn't matter if there's a hybrid solution, whatever it is, but the straight flat rate system is outgrown. It needs to go.
I love that answer.